Now I got a big mess to clean up. Lesson learned for the day. What's up, everybody? Well, it's winter here. It frickin' came in like mad this year. We got a pile of snow in a matter of a few weeks. All the access roads to anywhere I cut wood are cut off right now. Snowed in, plowed in, windrows. We're not getting anywhere. The ground's not frozen yet. The lakes aren't frozen yet. So we're kind of in a standstill, and that's why I haven't been putting out too many videos. But I do have some footage here of some work I did in the fall. Every year when I know the snow's coming, it's kind of like that game of playing catch up where you got to get a few jobs done before the snow flies. I was a little behind on firewood, so went out and got that. Spent 2 days in the bush hauling firewood. But I wanted to share with you a bit of the cutting of the firewood. But there's a situation I ran into there, and I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable about it. There's a situation that often happens in the bush that firewood guys or anybody gets themselves into, tree service guys, where you get hung up. Okay, you're going to fall a tree, you know, it gets hung up in limb tide, and you then you got a bit of work ahead of you to try to get yourself out of that situation. And I wanted to show you this because I think that anybody that's in the chainsaw genre and uses chainsaws and posts videos about their chainsaws sometimes, you know, wants to post the perfect scenario where they did everything right to show how awesome they are at their craft. But that's not the case. Everybody makes mistakes. We got to drop the ego. You know, I go through a lot of reels and videos of people using their chainsaws, and there's always the critic in the comments that, you know, should have did this, should have did that. So we'll run through some of the footage. I got a tree hung up. Okay, I just reviewed the footage this morning before I did a bunch of snow plowing because it snowed again. Yeah, I critiqued my own thought process on the video after I watched it. What I shoulda, coulda, woulda did better, but I didn't. I just dealt with the situation, how I felt in the moment that I could deal with it. So that's what I did, and guess what? All the frickin' wood ended up in the trailer and came home with me. So, you know, it just took a little longer. So just don't beat yourself up. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something or you're doing something wrong. You'll know when you're done. You know when you're done something wrong, and if you don't have an inflated ego, you'll learn from it. And that's what happens in the bush. So here's the footage. I'm gonna do a little voiceover in some parts, just to kind of explain to you my thought process in the moment. Feel free to comment if you want. You know, it's a basic scenario of falling a tree. You think it's gonna go plowing through the crown of a few other trees, and it gets hung up. And what do? Well, here you go. Enjoy the video. Okay, we're just going to start off with a bit of the tree falling and bucking. I had 2 days to get some firewood here, so the thought process behind it was I was going to get as much wood on the ground the first day and buck it up, and then come out the second day, load up the trailers with all the stuff I put on the ground. I didn't want to leave it on the ground too long because this is a public patch for cutting firewood, and I've made the mistake before of leaving wood a little too long, and you come back to get it and it's been claimed, it's gone. So it's not you really don't own the wood until it's in your truck or trailer. So we're just taking down a big poplar here. buck it up. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who is subscribing, watching the channel. Welcome new subscribers. The channel is starting to grow, and I appreciate that. So we'll move along here and just take a look at some of the process of getting the wood on the ground, and then we're going to get to the hang up. Okay, I mean, you just got to get them down safely, but you can see the top now is stuck up in that tree. So when we push this one over, we just have to keep our heads up, make sure that's not gonna bust out of the top. Okay, here's the last tree of the day, and that's how this typically happens with the hang-ups. You're either getting hung up on your first tree or your last tree, at least in my experience here. So I'm just doing the gun in the cut. That's kind of where this all fell apart on me. I had the wind blowing in the direction of the camera, so I didn't compensate for wind when I was gunning. And I haphazardly just took a look. I should have spent a little bit more time gunning the cut, but like I said, I was the end of the day. I'd been cutting for a couple hours at this point. So I'm cleaning up the cut here, and we're going to try to tip this thing over. Now, I thought I had quite a bit of space to go past that tree on the left, furthest tree on the left there, but as I started cutting and wedging, I could feel the wind pushing back on the tree. That's why I got the wedge out quick there. I thought it was going to set back on me just from the wind to get the wedge in, but the tree had to clear some limbs from the spruce tree to my left, and I thought there was going to be enough clearance, but it freaking got hung up just a hair in those limbs, and it was very frustrating because to me it looked like there was a lot of room, but I got it hung up, and I'm going to stop yapping now, and I'll just take you through here what I did to get it down on the ground. So if you listen here, you can hear the thing snapping and popping. It's barely hung up in a few spruce limbs on the tree to the left there. Wedging it, I'm not getting any progress. In hindsight, I could have opened up the face cut more, and maybe I would have got more momentum off the get-go, but I'm not even sure that would have helped. So I'm just sitting here kind of hoping that it gets a gust of wind and it's going to fall, but that doesn't happen. So, you know, I take my wedges out. They're doing nothing at this point, and we continue on here. Stuck in. I got it hung up.
Barely.
Okay, I'm cut right up here, but I'm giving it a little bit of a pickle here to see if it goes. It won't. I thought about cutting it right off the stump here, and maybe it would hit the ground and kick out, but there was some more cluster of trees there that I figured it was going to get hung up in, so I decided to come around and take the tree that it actually was hung up in. That's a green spruce, and I thought she would come down with that one and follow the path. But when you see this tree tip here, what happens is it jumps off the stump and it rolls into the cluster of trees that I didn't want it to go into. So I made a little bit of headway here, but not much. So the good news right now is I know exactly what I'm up against. The process here now is just I'm going to chunk them down in 6-8 foot lengths. That's the only thing I can do at this point, and I want to get them down so they're safe. And I would never leave something like this in the bush for somebody else to deal with. Plus, that's good firewood. So the process is just going to take me a bit longer, but we are going to get that wood into the trailer and we're going to take it home. happens to everybody. Now I got a big mess to clean up. Lesson learned for the day. In the intro to this video, you saw that poplar snag tip back on me. And that was the whole point of the video, is just to show you all that, you know, you're not going to nail it every time. You're going to make mistakes in the bush. And you know, we got to get past this whole being perfect at everything. Sometimes things aren't perfect, and you're gonna pinch your bar, you're gonna get trees hung up, and you're gonna run into situations where things don't go according to plan, and it's gonna frustrate the hell out of you. But the important thing is to just try to learn from those experiences and be a little vulnerable. Don't let your ego get flared up. And I've said this in a lot of videos, don't bite off more than you can chew, especially when you're going to be doing this type of work for people. Okay, cutting firewood in the bush like this is the perfect environment to learn how to cut trees and how to use your chainsaw. And I think I'm speaking to the viewers of this channel who are likely just like me. You know, they're not professionals. They just use their chainsaws for work and getting work done. And you know, that's the whole point of this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna finish up the job here and get these logs out of the bush. Alright, it's the next day. This is the last of the wood. It's actually the tree we chunked down in the video. It's about 80 yards from my truck, so I'm using my gas-powered winch to skid these logs out. And we had a good haul. Despite falling off plan a little bit there, we got all the wood back to the house and the trailer and the truck, and that's the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, not gonna preach this too much, but we gotta stop beating up each other on the internet here and just start working together, and you know, leave a kind comment. Don't leave a ignorant comment when you see somebody that might be struggling. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Like I said, the channel's growing. Appreciate that. We'll have a Merry Christmas coming up, and we'll see you on the next video.